so Prime is currently enjoying herself. Reacher remains their most popular show, but The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, from here on, we'll just call it LOTR, is also a top contender, even if some of J.R.R. Tolkien's most ardent followers despise it, leading to weekly ratings drops. Variety reports that out of all the views, 1.3 billion had been accumulated by LOTR, and 1.8 billion by Reacher. Reportedly, $250 million went into making the first season of LOTR. The first season of Reacher didn't cost a pretty penny. We therefore suggest a simple solution for LOTR Season 2. A crossover with Reacher. Put it in your mind. Producers or co-producers of both LOTR and Reacher are Amazon Studios. The two shows would work so well together. Both have a global popularity and are based on books that have sold millions of copies. Joining forces, two fan bases, going to Middle-earth to kick ass is something everyone wants to see Lee Child's irrepressible hero, Alan Ritchson, do. One does not simply walk into Mordor. Boromir, Sean Bean, famously declared in The Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring. To be honest, Jack Reacher is the type of person who would just stroll into Mordor. He's already a man-sized mountain. Season 2 of The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, should be here, maintaining the show's continuity while being faithful to the Jack Reacher tale format is possible. If a farmer offered Jack Reacher a ride into Middle-earth, the hitchhiker would gladly hop aboard. He reasoned that because he had never been there before, he may as well give it a shot. So, he set out in that way. I hope the coffee is delicious. He exits through Mordor. As he strolls about, he notices how trashed the house is, and starts to wonder who might have soiled it. He steps in to stop a horde of orcs from attacking a hamlet. A single survivor manages to get away, and informs his boss about the ferocious newcomer to town, after he slaughters the majority of the orcs with his bare hands. Galadriel, an elven warrior princess played by Morfydd Clark, is on a mission to eliminate the orc commander, who tricked her into assisting him. Meanwhile, Reacher crosses paths with her. She has a personal grudge against the leader, a man dubbed Sauron. After he murdered her brother, she is determined to get even. In spite of her initial mistrust, Reacher ultimately decides to lend a hand to Galadriel, who takes center stage in every new adventure starring the Reachers. Like with many of the women in the books, he may fall in love with her, because he admires her fighting abilities. After Reacher and Galadriel continue to thwart the orcs that Sauron dispatched previously, the two may form an underdog army by forming alliances with warrior dwarves. Reacher is their advantage. In the end, they defeat Sauron by fighting their way to him, and then dumping his corpse into the lava to destroy it. After that, Reacher gets a ride out of Mordor, and goes on to other adventures. This is the basic plot of every story, no matter where it's set in Middle-earth, a tiny town.